Hi everyone. A new and improved version of ISO 27001 was published in October last year to address growing global cybersecurity challenges or risks and improve the digital trust. The world's best known standard on information security management helps organizations secure their information assets, which is vital in today's increasingly digital world. If you are responsible for information security, the new ISO 27001:2022 standard update requires you to implement the changes to ensure you remain compliant and align your InfoSec posture with the digitization of business practices and persistent threats. We will discuss the major changes and what is the transition period for current organizations who are certified with the 2013 version to upgrade to the latest 2022 version. For an overview, if I have to divide the changes on a new standard, it would be divided into four major parts. First one is structural changes, where the focus area of the standard have been changed. Second is the changes within the clauses. Those who are familiar with the ISO standard, they know there is a section clause 4 to 10. There are minor changes within that section. Next is Annex A, and there have been major changes in this section. All the primary changes are made in Annex A. And the last part is the provision and period of transition. Well, to start with the structural change, the very first thing is the change in the document name. The document name in 2013 version was Information Technology Security Techniques Information Security Management System. In 2022 version, it is changed to Information Security, Cybersecurity and Privacy Protection. Well, there are organizations certified additionally against privacy information management. That is another ISO standard 27701. So did ISO remove the 27701 standard and merged it into this new 27000 version completely? Well, the answer is no. There are few new controls on PII data protection, which to implement you need to go back to look at ISO 27701, or if there is a local regulation for you such as GDPR, you can align with it. That or if you want to follow the ISO, then you can refer to the ISO 27701, and same goes for the cybersecurity as well, that is ISO 27032. The key changes in clause 4 to 10, there is no major change within these clauses, and if you are from an ISO background, you can pick any ISO standard, and these clauses are typical to all of them. So there are minor changes. The important point here is no requirement of the previous versions are removed. They just fine-tuned a bit and made it more clear. The first one is 4.2. We used to address the requirements of interested parties. Now there, in addition, under section C, we have to align the requirements of the interested parties with our ISMS program. This was missing in the previous standard. In 2013, it was mentioned that you need to address the requirements of interested parties. Now, in addition to that, how can we align those interests with our information security management system? Second, there is a new section on planning to the ISMS. This does not specify any processes that must be included. The management needs to determine how they can demonstrate that changes to the ISMS have indeed been planned. Changes should be conducted in a planned manner. 8.1 was already there. They just made it more clear about establishing criteria for processes and implementing controls for them. As we do risk assessment and pick up controls from Annex A, it just made it more clear. So as a criteria, we do risk assessment, and the implementation of controls, we refer to the Annex A. Under management review input, in the previous version, feedbacks from interested parties were addressed. Now in the new one, changes in the needs and expectation of interested parties are relevant and needs to be included in the ISMS program. So there are major changes in the Annex A. Those who have worked on the 2013 version know that there were 14 domains from A5 to A18. So in the new version, they have restructured the domains into 4 parts: organizational controls, people controls, physical controls, and technological controls. Even if you look back in the previous version, those 114 controls used to be aligned with these 4 major categories. So A5 is your organizational control, which are basically policies, procedures, legal requirements, compliance requirements, etc. This is the major part where the changes are made. There are 37 controls under this domain and 3 new, rest all of them are merged. We have A6, that is people control. There are the same human resource controls which were there in the previous version of clause 7, so they have made it a lot more simpler. Next is the physical controls. It was again already there under A11 in the previous version. However, 2 new controls are added under this domain. Then the technological controls. Here they have introduced 6 to 7 new controls such as configuration management, web filtering. So these are the new controls from the technical point of view. So to give you an overview, the number of controls in Annex A has been decreased from 114 to 93. The 93 controls have been restructured in 4 domains and 11 new controls have been added to Annex A. Additionally, there is no deletion of controls. It is merged only with the existing controls. Going forward with the new security controls, threat intelligence control. Information relating to information security threats should be collected and analyzed to produce threat intelligence. Information security for use of cloud services, processes and acquisition, use, management of cloud services shall be established in accordance with the organization information security requirements and policies. Then data leakage prevention is introduced to be applied to systems, networks, and any other device that process, store, or transmit sensitive information outside your organizational networks. Web filtering is introduced, physical security monitoring, monitoring activities, secure coding, and configuration management. These are the 11 new controls introduced into the new version of the ISO 27001. Another major change, if we go into the ISO 27002, which is an extensive document for the details of Annex A, now there's been drastic changes within the structure of the document. It is now structured in 3 major parts. One is the clauses and the relevant domains. Second, ISO has introduced a new concept. The first one is themes and attributes. The second is control layouts. Earlier in the 2013 version, they used to have only control title, control description, and guidance. Now it is much more extensive and more elaborated. Now the themes are our 4 major domains: organizational controls, people control, physical controls, and technological controls. Under attributes, the first one is control type. To view control from the perspective of when and how the control modifies the risk with regards to the occurrence of any information security incidents. It could be preventive control, detective control, or corrective control. Like for example, data leakage prevention, whether it is a preventive, detective, or corrective control. Next is information security properties. It is an attribute to view controls from the perspective of which characteristic of information the control will contribute to preserve. For example, whether it will preserve confidentiality, integrity, or availability. Next is cybersecurity concepts. Those who have already worked with the NIST framework can easily refer to it as the attribute values consisting of identify, protect, detect, respond, and recover. The last one is security domains. It is an attribute to view controls from the perspective of 4 information security domains: governance and ecosystem, protection, defense, and resilience. This is the new document structure containing control name, control type, information security properties, cybersecurity concepts. Additionally, operational capabilities is an attribute to view control from practitioner's perspective of information security capabilities. And the last one is security domains. This is purely for the internal reference of management and implementer. As an auditor, the major focus area would be whether you have applied the controls as per the requirements of the ISO standards or not. Obviously, it is advised to follow the attributes as a best practice, but again, it will not be a non-conformity if you don't follow it under your documentation. For the control layout, it is much more detailed now, starting from the control title or the name of the control, attribute table that shows the values of each attribute of the given control, then the control description, what is the control, purpose, why should the control be implemented, guidance, how the control should be implemented, and any other information or reference document for that particular control. Next is the transition period. Companies who are already certified with the 2013 version, they have 3 years to update to the new version by October 31st, 2025. Companies who are going through the implementation of the 2013 version right now can be certified until October 31st, 2023. That is 1 year period. After that, they will be having another 2 year to do the transition to the newer version. As for the individuals who were already certified for lead implementer and lead auditor with the previous version, there are different certification bodies who have started giving certification of the new 2022 version. You can enroll to the program and get certified. Completing the transition. If this video is helpful to you, please share, comment and subscribe to my channel. We'll catch up again with another topic. Till then, have fun and happy learning.